Hey, how we doing, everybody?
Hey guys, welcome back.
Joe here.
And I'm Kevin.
So we're at a very interesting point in season 3 of Mad Men right now.
Yeah, coming up towards the end. I think
Yeah,
it's
we have 3 episodes left,
yeah,
including this one.
right.
So yeah, a lot of revelations we need to get through.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing kind of going on right now. Well, there's two, and they both kind of revolve around Dawn, as the show generally does.
Yeah,
One, um, the Conrad Hilton issue,
yeah.
which Dawn is not enjoying. Um,
Do you see Conrad Hilton being in season 4 at all?
I think there's a breaking point, and I think it might be Dawn that does the breaking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because if
Yeah,
there's one thing we can say about Don, that he is not a guy that generally gets pushed around.
no,
We've seen him, tell clients they're wrong a lot in meetings.
yeah,
He's that's how the show started.
yeah, it is.
Don is not a pushover guy. I mean, he was willing to walk away from the job before he's going to let Doug Phillips be his boss. You know what I mean? So we
This is unprecedented. Yeah,
right, the fact that Conrad Hilton is really abusing his access to Dawn
big time.
massively, right?
Every episode, he
Massively.
calls like
Calls me in
two
the middle of
o'clock
the
in the
night and
morning.
says,
Yeah,
"Come over and have a drink with me." What, dude? You know you're calling a guy with a wife and kids at his
who
house
doesn't live in the city?
who doesn't live in the city. Yeah, yeah,
That's what,
right.
like a 45 to an hour drive
For sure, absolutely. And
at the
he,
least.
yeah, and Hilton sitting in his own freaking,
Yeah,
billionaire's, apartment, and like,
yeah.
just come over to my house, have a drink because I'm up, and then leave.
Yeah, sick. I'll
Um,
be there too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing, obviously, is the fact that it's becoming more and more evident that, to me anyway, that his marriage is over.
Well, she found his little box.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
We
in the
don't
last
know
episode.
what the outcome of that's going to
Well,
be.
she stayed up waiting for him, and then just finally said, "Ah, screw it." And
Yeah,
so she has this
we
leverage on him.
we haven't had the confrontation yet, and I assume at some point we will. Um,
That's definitely it, right? That is her out essentially. He
you know
doesn't
what?
have
You're
anything
right.
over.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a time where she's, because obviously things with Henry seem to be getting more serious
Yeah,
emotionally with her.
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if she leaves Don, because a woman leaving her husband and getting a divorce in the 60s is not the same as now, right?
no.
It's a much more difficult process. In a lot of states, it wasn't even legal. So I don't even know. I don't know what the rules were in New York. I don't know if they can do just up and divorce them or what. But it can be a situation where she's like, "I'm out," and he says, "No, you're not. I've got the money. You're not taking the kids." Whatever leverage she wants to pull,
Yeah,
and she's like, "You aren't even who you say you are." You know what I mean?
yeah.
I've got your whole world in my hands.
I can see that happening.
I could too.
And I feel like as far as like divorce goes back then, I mean, New York, I think the wealthier
Sure.
states, I feel like it's probably a little more liberal there in
Yeah,
terms of like doing
it's
what you can do, want to do essentially.
sure. Well, I mean, the idea, I think, is for wealthy people. It's kind of like all these states that outlaw abortion now.
Yeah.
Yeah, abortion's illegal in some of these, southern red states, but it's not illegal for rich people,
Nope.
because a rich person could jump in a plane and
That's
be
what I'm saying.
and be, in Illinois or Kansas or New York, getting that taken care of in 2 minutes.
Well, people were less savvy to that kind of thing back then too.
Sure,
So
sure.
I feel like in New York City they can get divorced. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're rich, things that are illegal for regular. I know that sounds really cynical and naive, but I feel like things that are, at least in terms of access, right? Like a divorce, money talks.
That's what I'm saying, man.
When
Like,
it comes to access, money talks.
yeah, you can buy anything.
Right. So I mean, we'll see. But I do feel like her finding. You're right. Finding that box, on top of the fact that both of them
Mhm.
are simultaneously having running affairs right now.
Yeah.
That the writing's on the wall that the marriage is over.
And I don't know what that means for Don. Whenever she leaves him, I mean, what's he gonna do?
And I think that's why they're definitely going to do it, because I think we get another shade of Don Draper
Yeah,
when he doesn't have that
he's like an
that resting place
yeah.
of having that holding spot of Betty always being there.
He really is like an onion, man. There's so many layers to this
There
guy,
is.
dude. It's insane.
I don't know how he's going to react to getting dumped,
And also,
by his wife.
I know because he's never
Yeah.
been dumped. You know,
Right, yeah, exactly. And he has by mistresses, and he took it
yeah.
really hard, right?
When Mencken left him,
When
yeah,
Rachel Menken said, "Get out and don't come back," he took it really hard, but he still had Betty to go home to after that, to be
yeah.
a bit of a pillar, to be a parachute.
And then
He's
just
not going to have that.
acted like nothing happened.
Right. But that's not going to be there. He's losing the parachute.
So, in terms of the business, though, really used Duck very sparingly. Which leads me to believe they're saving him for season 4.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that Doc Phillips isn't. important in the show moving forward.
Which is really smart because, you know, he was a very big antagonist in season 2, or at least building up to be the antagonist,
And Don beat him.
and then goes away for season
Right.
3. You see him a couple times. Now he's
Plotting and
back.
scheming. Yeah, plotting and
Yeah.
scheming in there. Yeah. If there's one thing you can say about the show, and there's a lot, you know, you talk about, you know, we say a lot how good the writing is on this show, and
Yeah.
it's great. It is layered.
Top notch.
It is, yeah, it is exceptional
Modern
writing.
masterpiece.
For sure. One of the things we don't talk about enough as far as the great writing on the show is how patient they are with their payoffs.
It's great.
They will do something in a season and know, like, we're 15 episodes away. We're a couple of years away from paying that off.
I know.
We'll get there.
And we're spoiled because like we just get to like fly through it. But
Oh,
like,
but back
in
when
the
it was
day-
on, because this is one of the shows like Breaking Bad was. One of my friends was telling me where they would like show half the season,
Yeah.
like they did with Breaking Bad. It's
Uh-huh.
like the other half of the season will be on in 7 months, you know, so it'd be split.
Yeah. I can't remember what movie it is. I think it was an Apatow movie. This is 40. Whenever Paul Rudd's talking to his kids,
I haven't seen it.
and they're like, "All you want to do is watch Mad Men." And he's like, "You don't dare understand the struggles of Don Draper."
I mean, really, yeah,
Which I had not seen it at that point, so I was like, whatever.
yeah. No, it's pretty spectacular.
It's insane. I've never seen a show. Well, I mean, I've seen shows like this. Obviously, Succession's similar. I mean, Sopranos, but this is just
As far as serialized television of a
Yeah,
long running story, right?
with complicated family issues and,
Right.
and
Really strong
business
ensembles,
intrigue,
right?
you know,
Yeah,
and but this transcends all of that, in my opinion.
I do too. I think this is one show where almost nothing gets baby fed, spoon fed to you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like you have to pay attention.
No,
You have to
there's like no exposition.
none.
Mhm.
You have to really catch the symbolism yourself. You have
Yeah.
to catch the motifs, you know, yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is why it's rewatchable.
there's yeah, I feel like I probably will when we're done with this all the way through.
Mhm.
I'll probably go back and rewatch it because I guarantee there's a million little subtle nuances I missed the
Yeah,
first time.
I've rewatched a few episodes on Freebie.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I'm just bored around the house,
Right.
just like throwing some great episodes. You know,
Yeah,
it's a great show to just throw on.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Doing a welcome. Sorry, guys, I have the hiccups right now, so if I sound like a freak, that's why. Doing a welcome a couple new Patreon subscribers for the last few days. Yorozuya and Don Parnell. Thanks so much, guys, and welcome. We really do appreciate you being here with us.
Yes, you guys are the best. If you're watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hi.
If you don't mind leaving us a comment down below, and please hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the new content we've coming your way.
Absolutely. If you would like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else that we've watched or are watching, and we are going to do the entire 7th season run of Mad Men, of course, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page.
We're going for a week? Are we gonna miss Halloween?
They have Halloween there. You'll go with your cousins. Say goodbye to your father, then get the bags.
She's being really cold to Dawn right now. I think emotionally, she's already checked out of the
Oh,
marriage
yeah,
for
man.
sure. Yeah.
Ever since Venice.
You look wonderful.
You look exactly the same.
Whoa.
Having a moment there, aren't they?
I can't tell if you two know each other or not. Don Draper.
Hello.
The Misfits, the movie Clark Gable.
Good movie.
I haven't
It's
seen
about
it.
horses being turned into dog food. There was an expose.
Used to have it.
She owns a horse farm that makes dog food.
We had a 15% share of the market, but now Benton and Bowles has dropped us for Gravy Train.
Well, that was a mistake.
So is there horse in the dog food? I
Well,
think that's
there's
a big
no other
question.
word for horse meat. I thought maybe you could invent one.
So it is. She just wants to repack. She was
Yikes.
going to rebrand horse meat.
That's awful.
Yeah.
I don't want to change the recipe. It's all meat. And 2, my father named it Caldecott Farms.
Don't change the name, don't change the product. Got it.
Put a horse in the bag.
I say change the name.
Right, yeah.
You need a big rebranding.
Do that or embrace it.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to see you, and I need something new
I'll bet you do.
for my business, because I know you're good at this. Advertising, I mean.
Ah.
Tomorrow night, somewhere French.
Quebec plays here.
So she came back to have an affair with Roger.
Yeah.
She could have skipped Sterling Cooper if she
Yeah.
wanted to.
Dawn, I swear I'm not talking about our future. I entered into this with my eyes open.
I feel like they're going to break up before he gets left by Betty, so it's not an issue.
I look at your life, and even if I remove myself from the picture, I see a man who is not happy.
Wow, yeah.
She's right.
Greg, remember what Steve said. This is a field about the most intimate details in life.
More intimate than their organs. But my dad had a nervous breakdown.
I didn't know that.
And no one was buying furniture. My mom ran away for 2 weeks because he wouldn't get a Christmas tree. The head shrinker got him through, but we weren't allowed to talk about it.
Answer like that. This is a talking profession. The way you just were with me right now, so open, he's gonna love you.
Joni is definitely the brains of this marriage.
So whenever he blows this,
Right.
because he will, she's gonna
Yeah.
blame her.
Wanted more than I thought I would want,
Yeah.
Yeah, she's catching feelings.
but it'll pass.
No, it doesn't.
Not if you keep hanging on like this.
One day I dropped the kids off at school and I saw you in the yard. I kept wishing you could get in the car and drive away with me.
He's getting to that runaway point again, isn't he?
Yes.
Your father intended you to get as much money for it as you could if you were going to sell it. Otherwise, somebody has to buy somebody out.
So basically, Dad gave it to Betty because he knew I didn't have any money.
Just take half the money of the value of the house. Just sell it and split it.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I think he wants the house.
yeah. Unless
Unless he wants to sell it,
Right.
Keep it all, I guess.
he wants to keep the house to himself, but he can't afford to buy it from Betty.
Yeah.
I need complete confidentiality.
She is talking divorce.
It's my husband.
What do you want to do? You want a divorce? New York State, you need to prove adultery. Can you?
Can't prove it. But
Maybe.
it's happening.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Is he a good provider?
Yes.
He is, but that's not the point.
3 small children together. At least go home. Give it a try.
Different times.
Yeah, man.
That's enough business.
Oh my God,
I
she's
wanna
really
know
trying,
everything
isn't she?
that's happened in the last 20 years.
Oh, it's been a while.
You're trying to tell me when you saw Casablanca, you didn't think about me.
Wow.
You mean Peter Lorre?
You seem
That's
so
funny.
happy to see.
That woman got on a plane with a man who was going to end World War II, not run her father's dog food company.
You were adrift. You didn't do anything but spend money.
That's good.
I married Mona, joined the firm, and then I got shipped off to the Pacific for the duration. And when I came home, I went to work while you were watching Casablanca.
Yeah.
You're rich. Let someone else take your horse meat and slap their label on it.
And do what?
It's like
Whatever you
Succession.
want.
It's like take the money and go do anything else.
You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want.
I was the one who'd introduced him to peanut butter.
Yeah, I never understood that. They have peanuts in Europe. No one ever thought of that?
They're drunk and this is going to happen.
Yeah.
You still want me.
So what?
I'm married.
Yeah.
Newlywed.
Screwed up all my answers, and I tried to talk about the articles, but I couldn't remember anything. Made a fool out of myself.
And now we blame
You
Joan.
suck.
I did everything I was supposed to do. Everything they told me.
You just weren't good.
College, med school. I wanted to be a surgeon since I was that big.
I do feel bad for him for that. But for the most part, Greg sucks.
Yeah. Screw this.
Oh, shit. I did not see that coming. Jeez.
What the hell?
He knows what he likes. He's pretty hard to fool.
He likes
Oh my
horse
God,
meat.
they're describing themselves.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
This your first group?
Yeah.
I told you, Dodge, why
I
would you
kinda
do
like
this
this.
to us?
It's inhumane.
Bingo looks sick.
Turn it off.
Would you prefer beef?
Somebody get that?
I can't turn it off. It's actually happening.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's high quality. Dogs love it, but the name has been poisoned.
That
Yeah, it's
name
gonna
got
stay
us
that
where
way.
we are. Do you think that was just luck?
I'm not saying a new name is easy to find.
Jesus, Annabelle, let it go. The name is done. It's unfair, but it's over.
Good for Roger there.
Annabelle, is this about last night?
He just,
Yeah, I think
he
a
just
little
cleared the break
I
room.
don't even remember last night.
Oh, well, you threw yourself at me and I turned you down.
I'm right. I'd have rather had my heart broken every day by you.
Oh.
You
That's
were
really
the
sad.
one.
You weren't.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
This is the most mature I've seen Roger in any type of interpersonal situation.
Ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think that Betty will hire somebody to follow Don to prove that he is cheating?
So what I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if she has the money. I mean, it seems like Don's got her on an allowance. Now, $250 in 1963 is a big allowance.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent chunk of change there.
Daddy?
Oh. Oh, my goodness.
boy.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
I left my hat
no.
in the car.
Get it later. I need to talk to you.
Oh my god.
I can't, honey. I've got a girlfriend in the car.
Came home to feed the dog and change shirts. I have a client dinner in the city.
I need to show you something.
This is it.
Open this drawer.
Bets, that's my desk.
She's been
Open
in
the
it.
drawer, I will.
He looks like he's about to piss himself.
Yeah, he
Sorry,
really
but he
does, doesn't
does.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've respected your privacy too long. Open it.
That is fair.
He did keep a smoking gun in the house, didn't
Sure
he?
did.
Yeah.
You know I know what's in there.
Look at that. He is panicked.
Yeah.
You don't see Don lose his cool
No, you
like that
don't.
very often.
Is that you? Dick? Is that your name?
Yes.
People change their names, Bets.
That's also true.
Are you thinking of what to say, or are you just looking at that door?
I'm not going anywhere.
This time.
Found out it was easier to be him than to start over. And it turned out he was married to that woman, so I took care of her.
Why didn't you tell me? Why couldn't you tell me any of this?
When? The day we met? On our first date? On our wedding night?
Right. That's true. When is the right time to say this? Yeah.
Did you see her when you were in California?
Yeah.
Sure did.
I did.
He's being completely honest now.
Yep.
She reminded me that I loved you.
You have somebody in the car right now.
I don't know who you are.
That's not fair.
Yes, you do.
I see her sentiment, though.
Yeah.
I mean, neither one of them are wrong in this big mess of a moment.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's a huge mess.
I'm surprised they're doing this now
Mm-hmm.
instead of the finale. Because I feel like this is a biggie.
There must be something even
I guess,
bigger.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
maybe they're doing. Maybe like she leaves him in the finale.
But that's not my mother. My mother was a 22-year-old prostitute who died having me.
What happened to them?
They're all dead.
Even Adam?
And he died. Killed himself.
I think Betty's actually starting to feel sorry for him. So, do you want to talk about breaking a vase over my head, or?
Yeah. I brought more flowers since you.
I'm sorry, Joni.
Discarded the other ones.
Yeah.
And it was so easy, Joni. The answer was right in front of me.
He did something stupid, didn't he?
Yep.
I joined the army, Joni.
Oh my god.
You know what that means? You don't have to work anymore.
So this guy's gonna die in Vietnam, huh?
That would be quite a way out of this,
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
please.
She's still in the car! Oh my god!
Yeah.
She waited forever too.
Makes
Oh,
me kind of really
damn it.
feel bad for her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How about last night?
What happened? Did you get caught?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Family was home when I got home.
Suppose I'm not going to see you anymore.
Not right now. No. You can stay here with him, or I can.
No.
Oh,
We're all going. Yeah.
you know what? Every episode of this show, for my money, this gets better and better and better. And I think truly this might be the best episode of the season thus far.
It was
For-
really
for
good,
me
wasn't
anyways.
it?
I mean that bomb that dropped in the middle of this episode. Oh my god.
They handled that so well. Like that, the writing and the performances and that conversation
Yeah.
with him about this thing could not have been done better.
This whole episode is kind of about the marriages of the show, right?
For sure.
Sans Pete, obviously Pete was
Right.
on this.
Yeah, we didn't get to see Pete.
But everybody that is married kind of had a big revelation, or anybody that has issues in their marriage really got to have it out this episode, you know? Roger coming forward and being like, I am faithful to my wife.
Yeah, I feel like all three of the marriages we looked at, steps were taken to kind of reaffirm the marriages.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that plays out.
Yeah.
Like, I would say, you know, the three marriages we looked at, Joan, Roger, Dawn, I'd say there's a 0% chance that after season 7, all three of those marriages are still intact.
Yeah, those are the three that are really
Those are the three that we looked at in this episode.
that are really going to be, going through the ringer. I feel like
Absolutely.
They don't have a lot of
but
things.
but you know what? My money would have been on Don and Betty being the ones divorced, and now it's
They
up
seem
in the
better than
air.
ever.
Yeah, they are. Because it's the first time Don has been very much honest with Betty.
It's almost like honesty is key in relationships.
I mean, he didn't. Obviously, there's still a lot of lying by omission. He
did have a teacher in the car.
He had a girlfriend he was going on a romantic getaway with, sitting in the car while this was happening. So
But she left while he was back.
I guess baby steps for Dawn.
Baby steps, yeah, baby steps.
We don't need to cover everything right now. By the way, my girlfriend's in the car. Can I tell her to leave since you're home?
It's like my hat in the car.
Yeah.
Also, the Joan and I always forget his name. Greg. Yeah. Like I said earlier, guys, ladies, if your husband's acting up, just break out that vase.
Just get out that vase.
He'll join the army.
Yeah, we didn't get anything really from Joan about that because she usually does a good job as being the supportive wife.
Yeah.
To a point, obviously.
Well, she's still
she's great. No. She's great. Absolutely. But I mean, she's obviously not going to let him completely push her around either. No. I don't know if she was actually happy or not happy that he joined the army here.
I mean, like she said, it's something.
It's something. She did say you have to do something. You can't just do nothing. We need money. You can't just sit around and feel sorry for yourself.
And he made it sound nice. I mean, like residency in New York, he'll be a captain. If that Vietnam thing's still happening.
Yeah. Oops.
Spoiler alert.
Yes, it is. The kind of funny thing about that, though, that I was thinking of is like, I still get to be a surgeon because they need him. It's like, so you're basically saying the army is taking bad surgeons just because they're desperate to have surgeons. So they like, we'll take all comers no matter how good you are at your job.
That's so morbid.
Yeah, it really was. I was like, ugh.
You know who he is? He's going to be the guy in Platoon that Duck Phillips played.
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally who he is.
Yeah, he's the guy that everyone actually can't stand.
The young captain who everybody hates.
Right, yeah.
He's probably going to get he's friendly fired.
Yeah, I mean, he's a medic. He's not going to be in charge of like a platoon or anything like that.
Well, he'll be in charge of a bunch of doctors.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he'll probably be in charge of doctors.
Yeah.
We've all seen MASH. We know how that goes. But MASH is great.
Yeah.
I don't see things ending well in that marriage.
No, so I'm trying to think. It's 1963. We're still a little ways off from
Vietnam. Vietnam is like 65, I think, where things really go crazy. And
65, 66 on.
And I mean it's not over till like 74.
75, I think.
Yeah, it goes on. So I mean
they have over 10 years of this.
Yeah, from where they are. Yeah.
So I think Greg is going to be out of the picture.
That's probably true.
Because I don't see this show spanning to 1975. So I wonder if he goes and she leaves while he's gone or something, or maybe she stays and he's just off the show because he's over in Vietnam.
I would say that's probably the case. Now the thing is he saying that I have no idea what medical surgeons at a captain's rank get paid, but he's saying you won't have to write anything. You won't have to work. Well, I don't see her just sitting at home while he's gone.
When he's deployed, she'll have to move to an army base.
She won't have to.
She won't have to?
Yeah.
Okay, I think you're right. Well, I was thinking of We Were Soldiers.
Right. Well, they chose to.
Okay,
right,
I got you. Yeah, because they had families and stuff, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. But no, I mean, there's a lot of different ways the show could go with that route. That's honestly the most interesting to me right now because it's like, what's going to happen with Joan?
Sure, absolutely.
She's already looking for a job. Roger's got her back.
She's looking for but looking for a job predated this enlisting in the army.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not anymore. You know what I mean? Maybe she's like, okay, I guess I'm a stay-at-home wife, and I'm going to have a husband who's off at basic training, and then.
But she seems to be a busybody.
I agree. I don't see her. That's what I'm saying. I don't see her not doing anything, especially if he's gone off at war, and it's just her. I don't see her just. I think him being off at war is the way they get her back on into Sterling Cooper. Would be my guess.
So because he'll be gone.
Right?
How are you going to keep the lights on? Oh yeah, I guess he'll send.
No, yeah. That's
but
what
she'll
he
be
said.
alone.
She'll be alone. She'll have money because even he says like you don't have to work anymore. I've got this job. But again, I agree with you. I don't think she sits at home and does nothing.
Yeah. So that's gonna be interesting going forward. As far as Don and Betty goes, I was certain that a divorce was coming up.
I would put money on it. Now I don't know. Now I would not make that bet.
I mean, this might just be a Band-Aid on a bullet hole, and
I mean, it should be.
Yeah.
Here's
It'll be nice for a month.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The question is has Don really changed?
He was literally having an affair.
That's what
Like,
at the moment. I think that's kind of the joke of it is like,
Yeah.
oh, my wife caught me. Now I'm back on the straight and narrow. I'm like, you are not capable of the straight and narrow.
and even like when he told Suzanne on the phone, "Not right now. We can't talk.
Right.
Not right now."
Of course, that could also just be a way of letting her down nice. Like, instead of saying like it's over forever, being like, I don't know.
They said goodbye.
It's like taking a break when what you really mean is we're done.
Yeah, they said goodbye. So
Right.
I mean,
It was a goodbye call, but
man.
yeah, I here's what I think. Because Don is a man of bad patterns and deep psychological trauma,
Yeah.
I think he is going to approach his marriage with vigor and sincerity until he stops approaching his marriage with vigor and sincerity, and then his eye's going to wander and he's going to
Yeah.
get comfortable again, and then the same patterns are going to start up again.
Well, he didn't cheat until things were getting really bad in the marriage. Did he start that after Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
like I feel like she kind of really was coming on to him instead of vice versa, and then he just took it the rest of the way.
well, and he kind of said, I mean, he doesn't know about Betty's affair.
No, he has no idea about Henry. Right.
But at the same time, I think he kind of got the sense that this isn't working.
Right.
And so they were headed there.
Sure. I do think if Henry stays in the picture at all, like, Betty knows that Don's had affairs, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And she's decided to forgive him. I think if it was the other way, I think if Don found out about Henry, which could be the case,
Yeah.
I think Don is not emotionally capable of letting that go. You know what I mean? I think the marriage would be over in a heartbeat if Don found out that Betty was having an affair, which does make him a hypocrite.
It does.
But it also just shows the depths of his insecurity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not faulting anybody. If you find out your spouse is cheating, you react how you react.
Yeah, that sucks.
Some people are able to get through it. Some people aren't. And I don't fault any, everyone's different. I don't fault anyone for any decision they make in that regard for their own personal relationships. But I just don't think that Don is one of those people that could get past that.
Also, I wonder how he feels about this being out there and this being off of his chest now. And this
Right?
being
Is this
like-
is this like going to be like, oh, I don't have to hide this anymore from my wife.
Yeah.
He's still going to have to hide it from his kids forever. He's going to have to hide it from his job. I mean, Bert knows.
Maybe he tells his kids when they're old enough. I don't know.
I don't know.
I doubt it.
I doubt the kids will ever know.
That man is a chained.
And maybe maybe the show ends with Don in real trouble because that gets out somehow. You know what I mean? That could be the tragic ending of Mad Men. Is
he goes to prison for being
yeah. I mean, really, yeah. There's a list of things he's done wrong.
Sure.
Here,
if they can prove it.
If they can prove it, which I mean, they should be able to.
Yeah, I
he's
guess
lying about who he is.
Like, Annabelle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is there's nobody though. That's the thing. Like he said, there's nobody in my family. There's nobody alive. There's the only person we know in Don, the real Don Draper's family is Annabelle.
Right.
So who knows? We're spectating something that could be like seasons away.
Sure. But I mean, there's always going to be a record because I mean, if Betty could figure it out, the government can figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This Don Draper couldn't,
you know
pass
what? That's true. There's
check.
no photos,
right,
of Don Draper in the army.
Right. No, there are for sure.
That's
right.
What I'm saying,
They take your records. I don't know how it was back then, but they snap
to keep track.
They snap your picture. Yeah, for sure. They're I mean, it's like anything else. You have IDs. You know what I mean? They fingerprint you. They take your picture.
That's true.
So
maybe
if someone looked deep enough, they could catch him.
Yeah.
But it's just a question of is anyone looking. So
well, he better not make any powerful enemies. Let's put it that way.
He better never push Betty too far.
That is a great point because she could just out.
She could destroy him now if she wanted to.
The person she's having an affair with is Henry. He's He's a government official.
He's a government official. Bert hung it over his head.
Yeah.
Would you say that I know something about you? Yeah, at the end of the day, who's really signing this contract anyway? Yeah.
It just kind of goes to show you that Don doesn't really think about things. He just does.
He just does. And I just think he thinks he's above the consequences of it. Because at this point now, if he upset Betty enough, she could destroy him.
I don't even know if he thinks he's above consequence. I just think he just kind of like floats through life.
Sure.
Not really caring. And then like he doesn't care so much that he ends up in these situations. And it's like, some of them good, some of them not so good,
Yeah, these are definitely not great.
Not a good. He's in a pickle for sure.
Yeah, he is. I'm kind of curious to see how this season ends. That was 11, right?
Yeah, we have 2 more left.
Is it 13 on the season?
Yep.
Okay, so a couple more episodes left on Mad Men, and I'm very eager to see how season 3 ends here.
Yeah, what's this finale going to be?
Right? Because that was pretty much a bombshell episode there. What are we actually building to?
I know.
There's a lot of possibility.
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch you in the next one, guys.
See ya.